Shows on the air across the globe, he's everywhere. Cheeto dust all over the place, on the mic and in his face. New school, old school, doesn't care. If it rocks, you'll find it here. Look out world, he's on the loose. The metal loose show starts right now.
Hello?
Hey, Lisa.
Hey, how are you doing?
Oh, pretty good. Just about to get into a writing session, so we're trying to make this happen since we missed the call the other night.
Yeah, so who all am I interviewing here?
Well, this is John. Luke's here. Daniel.
Oh, okay, good. So I want to start at the beginning. How did it all come about for you?
The band?
Yes.
Okay. Well, Luke and I met through a mutual friend, Brad. I had tried to join with Brad or talk to Brad about joining a band that he had a while back, and then they weren't really where I was going, so I bowed out of that. And then like a year, some change later, Luke got my information from Brad saying that I would be a good fit for the project that he was putting together later. And me and Luke met up, and we've just been kind of like writing and working together since. And then about 3 years ago, we got Daniel to jump on. We actually started working with him a little bit more than 3 years ago, but he had a wedding to attend as the groom. So he kind of took a little break from music for a minute until that was all settled. And that's how the core of the band has started.
Okay, so how did you come up with the name of the band?
Me and Luke had been working together for about 7 years, I guess, and that was right before I got divorced. And then when I got divorced is when we finally decided to actually like make a go of it. And we were just brainstorming different ideas, and The Darkest Hearts just kind of came out of nowhere, and so we stuck with that. I think we were talking about the darkest part of my heart.
Oh, okay. And I know each band member has their own influences. So how did that come about in coming up with the sound of your band in writing your own music?
Well, the EP was one song that Luke had already written, which was Listen, then one song that I had already written, which was Resistance, and then the other two that are on the EP were collaborations between Luke and I. And then Mississippi Devil came around, and Luke and I worked on writing that one, and then Daniel came in and added his flavor to it. So really the overall sound now is just kind of a collaboration of like learning how we play together as a group and kind of working with that.
So your newest single is Mississippi Devil. So let's talk about that. What does that song come about for you as far as like you writing it? Did it come from something else that happened in your life or an inspiration from somewhere?
Well, I'll let Luke tell you about that one.
About Mississippi Devil, yeah. So Mississippi Devil started from a riff that I kind of copied from ZZ Ward. It was a little bit like that. And the story came from this girl that I was talking to while I lived in LA that lived here. And when I moved back here, and actually finally met her, she was a little off. And so nothing ever came out of it, but I was strangely still attracted to her. So we hung out a few times, but she ended up leaving and like getting married to some guy she had never met in some other state. So she was obviously a little off.
Yeah.
At least her judgment may have been. but that's kind of where it came from. And the Tremese and I sat down and worked on the lyrics and sort of had a theme to it, which was like being attracted to something that could be possibly bad for you. You just, you just don't know.
Right.
This like a fatal attraction, basically. And for him, it's music, and it identifies as, the attraction and the sort of like the necessity of having music in your life. Am I right?
Yeah.
So you guys are in Nashville, Tennessee?
Yes.
Oh, wow. So what's it like being there? I know it's probably pretty saturated with country music and country musicians. So what's it like being there and being surrounded by all that, but you're rock and, you stand out a little bit more, but is it harder to get gigs and to play? And
it's not really so hard to get gigs. And I mean, Nashville is just a lot of people think it's, saturated with country music. And yeah, Broadway, they got country music everywhere. So that's what people want to hear. But really, I mean, it's Music City in the name. I mean, it's a really diverse style everywhere. You can get rock, you get metal, reggae, pop, country, polka, whatever. And that's honest truth. So, I mean, for us to get gigs around here, it's not so hard, but there is a lot of saturation of music. So, I mean, there's a lot of choices. You can go Broadway and see, however many bands, or you can go see a local show, or, there's just so much. There's not 2 or 3 venues, set venues like other cities like Chicago and stuff like that, where you can, go to, these select venues. Nashville is just everywhere. There's so many venues to choose from. So the people are kind of spread out. So, but yeah, we love it. I mean, it's a diverse city. There's all sorts of music for anybody everywhere, all around here, not just country.
Well, that's good to know. I've never really stayed there. I've driven through there and maybe spent a night in a hotel or something, but I never actually lived there or stayed there for a long period of time.
You should come on down. It's quite nice. I don't mind.
So you guys are writing new music, or coming up with an album, or what's going on with you currently?
Literally right now, writing music. Yeah. We're sitting in the studio with guitars in our hands.
Yeah. It's actually, we're in the process of trying to finish a full-length EP or LP that goes with Mississippi Devil. So that was kind of a precursor to what's to come.
So how many songs do you think you're going to have, and when do you think it'll be finished?
Right now, we're not trying to say how many songs there will be because we don't know what's actually going to land on the record. We'd like to get, like 20 to 30 together and then cut back from there and just see what actually fits together to create a cohesive idea. We don't want to make a record that sounds like Blink-182, and then next to that is Shaman's Harvest, and then next to that is Sepultura. Like, we need to make sure that the idea is congruent across the entire disc.
Right. So you guys going to be doing any touring for the rest of the year?
We've got one show currently booked for Little Harpeth Brewery here in Nashville, and outside of that, we don't have any shows booked. We're just trying to get this album finished right now so that we can have it ready for the touring season coming up next year.
Yeah, so we're going to be spending some time in the studio rather than touring.
Okay, so where do you want, or where do you envision your band to be in the future?
In the Hall of Fame. Daniel wants to inherit one of those rare Gibsons that Slash seems to hold on to so epically hard.
Right.
But I think that overall, I mean, we just want to we want to be do it for a living musicians, and we want to be do it for a living original musicians.
Right.
We don't want as far as we go, I mean, we're all talented enough musicians that we could go out and we could play in cover bands that make $2,000 and $3,000 a night at casinos and
Mm-hmm.
you know, do whatever we want to do with music. But the thing is that what we want to do is be an original band. So to do that, it takes a whole lot more blood, sweat, and tears, more sacrifice, more pain. Like there's countless situations that I can explain to you where I know personally I've given up things that normal people would never have given up.
Second that.
Yeah, I understand that. So, I know that you can get your music on Spotify. Where else can you get your music?
You can actually get it on our website at www.thedarkesthearts.com or .eu, either one. And you can get it at Apple Music. You can get it on Tidal. You can get it Google Play. You can check on Amazon.
Really anywhere except Pandora for some reason, because Pandora just doesn't want to listen to me.
Yeah. It's funny because you know them Fixes is on Pandora now. I'm pretty amazed by that.
So anything else you guys want to add? What's something we don't know that you want us to know?
Luke can grow a beard in 30 minutes.
Here, we timed it.
And despite how short he looks in pictures, Daniel's actually 5'2".
Oh.
He's not 4'3".
Okay.
No, other than that, we're just happy to be able to play music that people want to hear, and we're really excited to see where the future is taking us. We have a lot of opportunities coming out right now. We have a lot of big things that we're trying to work on, and we're really trying to ramp up for this coming up year to where this is going to be the year that we break out of our small world and start shaking hands with people in different states and possibly different countries.
Yes, well, on that note, I hope to see you in Texas on that tour.
We are hoping to be down there in Texas as well.
Yes.
Right on. Okay.
Yeah, one of the people that I deal with regularly on Facebook is Anthony Streeter.
Uh-huh.
Do you know him or know of him?
Yes.
Yeah, he's down in Texas as well. But, yeah, my brother also lives in Lubbock. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, if you're in Houston in a couple months, you should try and meet up and say hi. Yep. Because Luke will be there for work.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cool.
For about a week or so. And several times through the year. I think like 3 times a year, I think I come to Houston. So, yeah, we should get together.
Yes. Just let me know when you're coming through town. We'll link up and go to a few shows, to a few venues around here. Yeah.
Awesome. Sounds great. Thank you.
All right. Is there any other questions that you have for us?
No, not that I can think of right now, but I reserve the right to call you back later on when you're famous.
Yeah. Great.
All right, thanks guys. Have a great night.
You too, Liz.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
All rights to the music heard on the Metal Moose are reserved by the authors, their labels, or authorized representatives that permitted their material to be used. The Metal Moose holds no rights to any music played on the show. Go to themetalmoose.com to submit your music to be heard on the show. Metal Moose accepts donations of money, Cheetos, bacon, and naked pictures. Thank you for tuning in and subscribe on iTunes. Rock out while you rack out, and consider yourself moosed. loose with the moose.